Sangiovese Lambrusco, Sangiovese Lambrusco,
Aglianico, Albana, Arnese, Barbera, Canaiolo, Cannonau, Carricante, Cesanese, Cortese,
Cortese,
Corvina,
Convina,
Croatina,
Croatina,
Dolcetto.
Dolcetto.
Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. My name is Joy Livingston, and for the next several weeks I will be bringing you some choice narrated content from the book Sangiovese Lambrusco and Other Vine Stories, written by Mr. Science himself, Professor Attilio Scienza, and Serena Imazio, published by positivepress.net. To get a copy of the book, the Kindle version is available on Amazon and hardcover copies are available from Positive Press. If you like the content we share each week, consider donating to our show. Find details at italianwinepodcast.com or on our social media channels. Sit back and get your geek on as we jump into the details, stories, and science of Italian wines and vines. Traminer, the border grape variety. If you follow the South Tyrolean wine route, at a certain point you will find yourself passing through the village of Termeno, Tramin in German. For a long time, it was considered the homeland of Traminer, given the consonants in the names. A testimonial from 1242 relating to the price of Traminer wines sold on the Bolzano market indicated the origin of this vine was Termeno. Tramin's wines have been mentioned for centuries. Weinguts Traminer from Tyrol in 1362, Tramin from the Council of Constance in 1414, Traminer from Strasbourg in 1450 and 1514, Traminer from Basel in 1532, Traminer wine from Tyrol in 1558, and so on and so forth. However, there is evidence that goes against this easy attribution. First of all, documents the first mention of Traminer as a vine dates back to August 4th, 1438, at the monastery of Bebenhausen near Stuttgart, and this implies that the vine originated in southwest Germany. In addition, several scholars, in particular Babo, Mack, and Bronner, have looked for historical evidence for the existence of vines with the name Traminer cultivated in Termeno and its surroundings, but without success. Traminer was never mentioned in the Italian ampelography treatise before the 19th century, while Gewürztraminer, its aromatic version, was only introduced into South Tyrol in the middle of the 19th century on the initiative of Archduke John of Habsburg. Certainly, when attempting to understand the vine's origin, the random coincidence between the toponym Tramin and the name of the vine, Traminer, does not help to clarify things. The Romans used to call places recently conquered by the word terminus, border, from which the name Termeno also derives. The vine, therefore, may have taken its name from a Roman terminus of the same name. A medieval source provides an even more solid hypothesis of the etymology, which, among other things, places Traminer in the Olympus of grape varieties. The Amenae family of Greek origin in Roman times was synonymous with quality wine. Falerno, for example, comes from it. Centuries went by, and during the Middle Ages, Benedictine monks began to use and spread corrupt forms of the original Latin terms. So we go from Aminea to indicate a vine that produced high-quality wine to Der Amina, then to Draminer, Draminer, Traminer, Traminer. The overlap between the Traminer and Termeno grape varieties can therefore be traced back to a custom in the Middle Ages to market wines under the name of their place of production, regardless of the grape variety used. At that time, sweet wines from South Tyrol, and in particular from the Oltradige, enjoyed a good reputation, especially in Bavarian monasteries. Among these wines, those of Termeno stood out. Therefore, it is possible that the name Traminer did not refer to wines produced with the Traminer vine, but to sweet and aromatic wines of Tramin, Termeno, produced with another vine. Once the mystery of the name has been dissolved, perhaps, the origin of the vine still remains obscure. There are those who say that it originated from Germany, more precisely from the Rhine Valley. Others suggest Kitzek in Styria in Austria. Others still hypothesize that it originated from the Jura canton in France, where Traminer is known by the name Savignin. Eventually, the observations of Bronner emerged, a German ampelographer from the middle of the 19th century. He had found some wild vines on the small island of Ketsch, on the Rhine, that had remarkable morphological similarities with Traminer. With the advent of molecular biology, this hypothesis was confirmed, and in 2001 the ancestors of Traminer Savignin were identified in those wild vines. In the Middle Ages, as in Roman times, the most important factor in judging the characteristics of a vine and in assessing the quality of its wine was its origin. In Carolingian Germany, local wines and vines were called Hunch, while French, in various spellings, French, Fränkisch, Französisch, defined a foreign wine, usually considered of better quality. The expression vinum hunicum, or Hoinsche Weine, was used to indicate a local variety of wine or vine, which had been present on the territory for a long time. These were old vines that came from a territory between Jura, Comté, Champagne, Ardennes, Lorraine, Alsace, and up to the southeastern corner of Germany. Everything suggests that Traminer is one of them. Molecular analysis supports these hypotheses. The results have shown that the Traminer is none other than Savignin of Burgundy, France. The name Savignin is reminiscent of the French word sauvage, wild, confirming the probable direct descent from a wild vine. The genetic proximity to Pinot has also been highlighted, confirming the hypothesis that the Traminer vine was born through a neutral cross between Pinot and a wild vine from southern Germany. Traminer Savignin, in turn, crossed with Gouillet Blanc, has given rise to Aubert Blanc in Lorraine, a now scarcely cultivated grape that is still found in Moselle and Marne Valley, and in Champagne to Petit Meslier, another rare grape sometimes used in cuvées of Champagne to give acidity. Another Traminer Savignin offspring, thanks to a cross with a likely extinct variety, created Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, appreciated in the Loire for its acidity and good sugar concentration, and Trousseau, which is present especially in the Jura and produces a red wine with a pleasant floral scent. As a result of these family relationships, Traminer Savignin can also be considered the grandfather of Cabernet Sauvignon. In the south of France, Traminer Savignin is probably the parent of Petit Manseng and grandfather of Gros Manseng, both white grape varieties with marked acidity, used to produce sweet wines from overripe grapes. In Austria, its offspring include, among others, Silvaner and Rota Veltliner. The geographical distance from the Traminer Savignin area of origin and Verdelho, which shares a first-degree relationship with it, is curious. It is a vine grown on the island of Madeira and traditionally used for the production of Madeira wine. As we have seen, there is a deep bond between Traminer and other vines of great fame and notoriety. Pinot. This is a complex grape variety. From the point of view of winemaking, it exhibits atypical characteristics compared to other wine varieties, but it is so beloved that its offspring have been selected many times throughout history. Pinot has established a perfect partnership with Goulet Blanc, a grape that the Romans brought from Pannonia, giving rise to about 15 varieties. It is widespread in northwest France, Lorraine, and Champagne, including Chardonnay, Gamay, Melon, Aligoté, and Petit Meslier. Thank you for listening to this week's installment of Sangiovese Lambrusco and Other Vine Stories. We hope you expanded your horizons and gave your brain cells an Italian wine workout. We'll see you again next Thursday, and remember, the Kindle version of the book is available on Amazon and hardcover copies are available from positivepress.net. If you feel inspired to make a donation to our show, please visit us at theitalianwinepodcast.com. Find Italian Wine Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Our Twitter handle is @ItaWinePodcast.
Sangiovese, Scioppettino, Terradego, Timorasso, Tintiglia, Refosco dal Peduncolo Rosso, Sagrantino, Schiava Gentile, Verdicchio, Vermentino, Vernaccia, Uva di Troia.
Perché alla fine uva di Troia?